Hello and welcome to the Code Maven channel. In this video, we are going to talk about a project called CPAN Digger. I've been writing about this recently in various blog posts, but it was time, I think, to create a video, especially because now I have some code, some application to show you, and I wanted to show how it works and explain a little bit. So the idea behind the CPAN Digger is to improve, the first step is to improve the metadata that arrives to MetaCPAN, to actually to CPAN. In case you're not familiar with this, let me show you the screen now. So I wrote this article about CPAN Digger where I'm explaining a little bit why is this interesting, and I'm going to show you now the tools that are made available for now to help you improve this. So when you upload a module to MetaCPAN, there can be some meta information, a meta JSON file, and you upload actually the module to CPAN to pose. That gets then displayed on MetaCPAN. That you can see where you can see the link to the version control system of this package. So if you visit let's just open it. So if you visit MetaCPAN and look for let's say look for the recent packages, and then we pick one of them. For example, let's see the package that I'm going to talk about, and on the left hand side you can see repository, and you can see here links to the version control system. In this case it's GitHub. There's also a link to the issues, which in case also on GitHub. The information, the links here are coming from the meta JSON file, and the author of the module can include this link into the package. But not all of the packages include such a link. And with that link, okay, let's be positive, with that link it's much easier for someone looking at MetaCPAN or just the distribution to find the actual source code, the original source code, the version control system of that package, and then to send a pull request, whether it's for fixing a typo or adding some tests or anything. The next step will be actually, and it's already in the CPAN Digger, is to find out if that specific package, that specific project on GitHub or on the other version control, cloud-based version control systems, whether they use one of the continuous integration systems, GitHub Actions, or Travis CI, or Circle CR, or Appier. These are the main ones, I think, for GitHub, and then there's also one for GitLab, and also one for Bitbucket, or maybe more. So the idea of the CPAN Digger is to find out which packages, which CPAN modules, first of all, don't have this link, their version control system, and then secondarily to check which one doesn't have a CI system configured. And then my hope is that the authors will all include the link to make it easier for other people to contribute, and then we also manage to configure CI systems for each of the packages. And that's what the CPAN Digger is about. There's a plan for creating a website for CPAN Digger, or including some of this data into MetaCPAN. But for now, let's see what this module can do that I created in order to allow you to see what's missing. So in the Perl Weekly, actually, there is statistics that I started to include a couple of weeks ago, showing, and this is the editions of the Perl Weekly, showing how many uploads were to CPAN and which percentage, and these are the two interesting numbers for now, which percentage of the packages uploaded or distribution uploaded, actually the distinct distributions uploaded to CPAN, to pose, which percentage of them has no VCS link, and which percentage of those that have VCS have no CI. And as you can see, there's between 15 and 25% more or less that don't have the link to the VCS, and about 50% of those that have a version control system don't have a CI. So there's much work to do in order to improve this, although some of these numbers might be a little bit better. Maybe we are just missing some of the configurations. So there might be bugs in the code that actually is checking this. Anyway, so these are the statistics. And now back to the article. And this article is actually on the Perlmaven website. It's called CPAN-Digger. If you're looking for it, I'll put it under the video. And here are a couple of issues, a couple of entries under tools that shows how you can run the CPAN Digger module, the code, actually the command line tool, in order to get this information for yourself. So let's switch to the terminal. I already have it installed, but if you don't have it, then you should probably use CPAN-M to install CPAN Digger. And it's version 1.01 now. Okay, so if you get an older version, because I've just uploaded it and maybe your mirror doesn't have the new version, then make sure that you install at least version 1.01, because that's where the feature started to work. And then let me just copy paste from here. So this is one of the commands that you can run. So this is going to be a quick one, because all it does, okay, let me scroll here and show you. So CPAN Digger, it says author and gives my pose ID. Of course, you can give your own pose ID. And it says send me display a report at the end. Okay, once you are done, and the log is just to log during the run. This one also only accesses the Meta CPAN API and only knows about the version control systems for now. Okay, so this report, as you can see, shows me some of these packages some of the distributions I've uploaded that have no version control system. Now, I should add at one point a later version, probably dates, and maybe order them by dates, because probably most of you won't be interested in going back and uploading a new version of some package that you haven't touched for years, just in order to add the version control system. But if there's something new that you've recently uploaded in the last couple of weeks or months, then probably you would want to add the version control, the link to the version control system, so when next time you upload, it will be there. So that's a fast run. A much slower one is if you include also the -- GitHub flag, which means that the CPAN Digger will not only access Meta CPAN, but it will also get to GitHub, and from GitHub it will basically clone each one of your repositories, or each one of those repositories that it already found, and check which files are there, which CI configuration files are there. And maybe just for the CI configuration, that's too much work to clone the whole repository. Maybe I should have just checked the specific files, but there is some plan to add more analysis and analytical tools to this code, and that's the reason that currently it's cloning. And there's also this flex sleep and some seconds. It's telling basically the script to wait, in this case 3 seconds between every call to GitHub, in order to not to hammer GitHub that much. Probably it's not really that important, because we are cloning repositories and not accessing just some API, but you might want to do that in a slower way. So let me just run it now without the sleep. And this will of course take a lot more time, because now for each module it will access GitHub. And I noticed that in some cases, and I'm not sure yet in which cases, like here, okay, so I have to figure out what is going on now, why it's asking me a username, apparently for this package. So I'm going to figure this out. For now, the only thing I can do is Control-C, and that will stop the cloning part, but the script will go on running. So I'll have to figure out that's a bug in the code, definitely, that is stuck there. It's also a question, why does GitHub ask for a username, whether the URL here is incorrect. Maybe that's the case, that the URL is incorrect, and then it's arriving to a place where GitHub basically probably doesn't know if it's a private repository or there is no such repository. And maybe that's the reason that GitHub's asked this question. Again, it's asking me, so I will have to figure this out. Anyway, at the end it will show me the report, And finally, and I'm not sure if I'm going to run this, if you run this command, but this time without, instead of author and the pose ID, you give recent and the number, it will just get the, in this case, 10 most recently uploaded packages. It's especially interesting and check the data about them, either with GitHub, or if you don't put that flag in, then of course then just the question whether there is a link to the version control system. And that can be really useful if someone is interested in contributing to the most recently uploaded packages, either the link to the version control system or configuring the CI system. And the theory is here is not to go back to the really old versions of packages that were uploaded, I don't know, 10 years ago or even just a year ago, because it's much more likely that someone, an author who has just released something, and if you send a pull request for that package or some request, it's much more likely that it's going to be fixed than something that was uploaded last time a year ago or 2 years ago. So let's switch back. It's still asking me questions, sorry for that, but at the end it gives me this report again, showing the name of the package, showing if there is no version control, and showing if there's no CI. Obviously, if there is no version control system, then I wouldn't be able to check the CI system. But in this case, for example, this package has the link to the version control system, but doesn't have the CI system configured there. So all in all, I hope that this tool can help you as a CPAN author to verify or check which one of your packages is missing this information, so you will be able to focus which one to fix this part of the information. And if you are someone who is not a CPAN author but would like to contribute, then this is your chance to look at this low-hanging fruit, because configuring continuous integration, or even adding the link to the version control system, is something that is relatively easy to do, and this can be your first contribution to any of the CPAN packages. So thank you for watching this quite long video, and I hope that this thing will help improving the metadata on CPAN and make it easier for everyone to contribute and to improve the quality of the packages on CPAN. And if you like this video and if you help this, if you think this helped you, then please consider contributing to the effort, either by doing this or by visiting my Patreon page and contributing there. And just in case you don't know, my name is Gabor Szabó. And now, bye bye.